What's up, fight fans? This is Kurt DeVille with Counterpunch Boxing News, and I have some new news concerning Gennady Golovkin, Canelo Alvarez. Get this. Check this counterpunch from Golovkin. Golovkin states, Canelo's animosity, maybe it's just the side effects of certain substances in the body. Gennady Golovkin is in better shape than most guys of his age. Of course, he's now 40 years old. He's fit, lean, muscular, 160 pounds, and has been consistently able to stand in with middleweights a decade younger and beat them into submission, whether he concedes it or not. And with the trilogy fight against Canelo Alvarez on the late summer horizon, he's certainly used to being asked about whether he's planning to call it quits, perhaps after a career-defining win. But he's not quite ready to pull the trigger on it finally. He said, "It's hard to say for me. I will continue until I stop feeling I can show the best of me, the best boxing at this level. I will continue until my body tells me to stop." He said, also, I have 3 belts at 160, so the victory or the loss in the upcoming fight at 168 is not going to affect my decision about when to retire. It's about being honest with myself, listen to my body, to my mind, and feel when it's time to stop. Okay. Now, Golovkin states, he says, I don't know how to explain it. Maybe it's just the side effects of certain substances in his body, but I treat it as a sporting event, nothing personal. But the words that he chooses to say are unexplainable. Inexplainable. Wow. Okay. Those are the words of Gennady Golovkin. Now, that was a wise crack. Good counterpunch from Golovkin, because he's like, well, I don't know what's his problem. Maybe it's the shit that he took. You know what I mean? Maybe it's making him crazy, like insinuating, well, roids make you roidy. Good for you, Golovkin. I mean, it was a clever response, because it just really does show, though, that Gennady Golovkin really doesn't know what the hell he's talking about. Now on Canelo's end, though, Canelo's like this. I think him hanging out with Eddie Hearn, him expressing himself more, I think that's something that happened in the last couple of years. Now, granted, Canelo Alvarez probably don't like the idea of someone just presenting themselves in a certain manner. I think Canelo expects if you say something bad about him, he should want it in his face, which is understandable, because I'm that same way. Like, don't act like, yes, good fight. You know what I mean? No, yeah, you say good fight now, but then yet you said a lot of other things. So I think you should address that to me right now, here and right now. And I think that's what his thing was. But I think it's a little bit tardy, right? Why? Because, yeah, he said some things in the second fight, but then it's like you didn't hear Canelo talk about Golovkin at all. Yeah, you're hearing it now, and yes, he's been busy fighting other champions, other undefeated bigger guys, like Bivol and Smith and Billy Joe and all those guys. But then, it's like you didn't hear him talk much about how he felt about Golovkin. You'd think he would let that spew if he had Golovkin on a shit list somewhere. You know what I'm saying? So I think that's the strange thing about that. But again, with Golovkin saying, well, hey, I don't understand what your problem is, and here's the thing about Golovkin. You should have heard something else about that. That's why Golovkin's like, I don't understand what's wrong with him. Maybe it goes back to the shit he took. Those are the things that Golovkin said. See, Golovkin said what he thought of Canelo cheating. And he said if he was cheating in the sport, he shouldn't be in the sport. It's a disgrace. Because there's too many fighters that do the right thing in the sport of boxing, to hold the sport at a higher standard versus the motherfucker that goes and cheats, pulls a Jarrell Miller and, the Tyson Furies and all those guys that decided, what, I need an edge for this particular event. Let me try that. Or I need an edge during my career. Let me try to cheat my way through it. That's trash. So that's what Golovkin was responding to. Because here's the thing, if Canelo Alvarez ate that damn meat and it had clenbuterol in it and it was from Mexico and it had it naturally in there, he shouldn't be mad about anybody else. You know, it seems to me that the people that respond aggressively are the ones that are guilty, you know, because there was nothing that he could really do about it, you know. But for Canelo to do it, to act like Oscar Valdez did, you know what I mean? It lets you know like that was something's up with that. You know, and it makes the Reynoso gym look bad because you got all those guys that did test positive, you know, him and Oscar. So there you go. But anyway, you guys tell me what you think of Gennady Golovkin stating that maybe his behavior, Canelo's behavior, is because of the clenbuterol or substance that he put in his body that's affecting the way his mind and body works. Of course, please subscribe. And you guys been Counterpunch. Peace!